begin to consider what music is, let's take a step back and think about what is sound really. Now, anytime we make any kind of noise, we hit something, we tap on something, we're making noise. And so what's the difference between noise and music? Music has to be sounds that are organized into some kind of format that we as humans can listen and go, oh, that makes sense to me. I understand what's going on here. Oh, I enjoy that. That's good. So as we think about guitar, in the back of our mind, we want to think, how are we employing sounds and forming them to make something that we call music? There are four basic elements of music: rhythm, melody, harmony, and timbre. All these things, as they get worked into styles, become recognizable forms of music that we appreciate. For example, different styles of music have different mixes of these elements. Therefore, my little mixing board is sitting here. If we think about something like rap or R&B, that's very high in rhythm. So say the slider here represents rhythm. We turn that all up. So what's the predominant thing when you hear that style of music? Boom, tsh, boom, tsh, that kind of rhythm. Let's say this one is melody. Well, that might be opera. Opera, not big on the beat. You're not going to be dancing much to opera music, but big, big, big on melody. To one degree or another, most music has some degree of harmony. So we bring a little bit of mix of that. And then there's also this thing of timbre, that overall sound. Certain styles of music have a certain sound to them that we expect. When we hear that sound, we go, oh, that's a country song. Oh, that's a rock song. That's a metal song. In many ways, I think we can see music as a kind of a language. It's kind of an emotional language, or even a spiritual language, where we're able to communicate the way we think in ways that we can relate to and ways that the people we respect can connect with. As we listen to music or think about music, the things that music engages in our brain are very much interconnected. There are these little guys in our head, little guys with clipboards. And there's one guy who's in charge of beat. There's another little guy in your head with a clipboard, and he's listening to melody. So all these little guys are in there, and as long as they're agreeing that this piece of music we're listening to is good, they're going, let it roll, let it roll. But when you start missing the beat, or the harmony is off, or the melody is off, they go, wait, hit the button. The stop button, the change channel button, whatever button's there, just change the music. So as musicians, we need to realize, as we're playing songs to people, we need to keep the beat good, we need to keep the melody in tune, we need to have our harmonic structure so it makes sense. And as all those things work, the little guys in our listeners' heads will be going, yeah, I want to stay tuned into this. This is speaking to me. This is communicating. One way we can think of music as we're listening, it's like a puzzle we're putting together. But we listen to music for a certain type of repetition, certain type of structure, so we know, okay, this was an idea, we move on to this idea, we go on like that. And as a puzzle, too, we combine different elements. Some contrasting things we look at is whenever we play a song, we want it to be a combination of the known and the unknown. So you want some stuff that's familiar, but then you want some stuff that might be unexpected. And as we combine the known and the unknown, the expected and the unexpected, that's what draws people in to want to listen. There's also that whole aspect in music of tension and resolution. You have a song that's holding a G chord for a long time. You don't want to do that forever without adding a little tension now and then. Music is largely an emotional connection too. So as you play, we need to think we want to have music that's interesting, that connects with the brain and connects with the emotions. That's what draws people in. It needs to feel organic. When we do music right, it feels like a living thing. It has life, it has breath, and we talk about making a song breathe or making it flow or growing certain parts. So we want to communicate that in how we play and how we approach it. Now when we think about music or music theory as we approach that, that can seem such a dead thing. And when I say even the word music theory, many musicians and guitar players in particular start these little ticks and stuff. Music theory, oh, terrible, I hate it. That'll take all the life, that'll take all the spontaneity, that'll take all the goodness out of music. So we just need to have it in perspective. Music theory is your friend. Honest, it's your friend. But what it is the autopsy. We come up with something that sounds good, we play it, we sing it. If it sounds good, then we can use music theory to analyze it. Or we can see music theory as a type of thing that lets us know, okay, this road works. If I go this way, I'm going over the rocks and mountains and maybe cliffs. But if I go this way, at least I know I'm on the road. So again, it's a combination of expected and unexpected. We want to bring those together. So think of music theory as your friend as we begin to introduce some of these topics. Another thing we want to take into consideration is the difference between art and science. With science, There are things that exist in this world, and scientists dig in and find those things. With art, our role is to bring things into this world that don't previously exist. You can bring something of your personality, something of what you've learned about music, something that you've heard that you've liked. You can bring all those elements together and create something that's never been heard before. So that's really part of the purpose of this DVD, is to get you to draw on these various elements in your life and bring something into existence that hasn't existed before. The purpose of this DVD is really to help beginning and intermediate guitarists get a foundation for their playing. We want to help you understand enough of this thing called music theory that will really be beneficial to you and help you to progress into whatever style of music you want. In putting this information together in what was originally written as a book called Foundations for Great Guitar Playing, I started with some things about the guitar, then how notes come together into scales, how scales are made into chords, how chords are made into chord progressions, and then we'll do a few little tricks and stuff to help your playing. So my goal is, between the DVD and the book, that you will have something that will appeal to your style of learning. You'll be able to take this information in and use it to really get you where you want to be in your guitar playing.